Oh, hey, all right, let's start our build for today. Hey, what's going on, guys? There we are. No beer today. Probably not for a while. I don't know. I'm recently getting over being sick. This past weekend, I was not feeling well, so I don't know. But instead, it's Arizona iced tea. Channeling my young lean today. What's going on, guys? Kid Robot, Hunter, Shin, Phase. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Phase? Is that right? Sorry. Joel, Decker. What's going on? Pretty good. All right. Yeah, today we're building a P-Bandai kit, and probably the next couple of live streams are going to be premium Bandai Gunpla kits. So I have, with not that much Gunpla coming out lately, I do have the Forbidden Gundam coming, the new Full Mechanics kit, but that's not here yet. In the meantime, what I do have in terms of Gunpla is a stack of P-Bandai stuff that I'm kind of behind on. So I got this that we're going to be building up today. At home, I'm working on getting ready the HG Jim Spartan and the HG Rose Gundam. So those will probably be the next two live builds. And it's been a little while since our last live build. The last one I think was a Gundam Calibarn, which I think was probably like 2 months ago or something now at this point. But yeah, so it's been a little while, but I do have some more live streams coming up, and that's going to include some more P-Bandai Gunpla, so I hope that you guys will look forward to that. And yeah, when I do get the Forbidden Gundam, I will live stream build that one as well. But Kiroba asking, did the hurricane last week do any damage to your property? And aren't you glad that the upcoming one is expected to curve north? Yeah, the hurricane that did come through sort of near here it didn't damage anything anywhere around here. The whole Daytona Beach, our county is Volusia County. This whole county was basically fine. I mean, we had a little bit of wind and rain, but otherwise that was really kind of about it. That was hurricane, was it Idalia, right? It's like a week and a half ago now at this point. They did close the schools. So I was just at home with my kids because the kids were out of school because they closed the schools. But yeah, nothing really too much happened. In the early morning, it was kind of starting to rain, like pretty heavily, and it was pretty like windy and blustery kind of all day, but really wasn't too bad at all. It's like farther north of us. They definitely did get some flooding up there, but knock on wood, got plenty of wood around here to knock on. That's the worst that we'll have for this hurricane season, but the hurricane season is not done yet. Do you know of the YouTuber Wacky Modder 84? The name sounds familiar. Is it a Japanese modeler? Not someone that I follow, but the name does sound familiar. You got the kids in the petri dish that is school, bringing everything home. Yep, Chris, that's exactly right. Yeah. So in case you guys missed my mention about that, a couple weeks ago, my son and I both got COVID. I think he got it first. I think he probably got it from school and then gave it to me. Fortunately, I don't know how this worked out, but my daughter and my mom, who was staying with us at the time, didn't manage to get it. But my son and I did, and it was our second time having it. So it was not as bad as the first time, but I mean, it's not fun. So yeah, that happened, and then yeah, this past last week, which is why the live build of this was delayed, because as many of you maybe hopefully saw, I posted on the YouTube community tab a poll about this live build, asking you guys to guess what the live build would be. And so this was supposed to be last week, but what happened was my daughter was sick one day. Next day, my son was sick. A couple days later, I was sick. So yeah, it's been just kind of a rough start to the school year here because of all the sickness spreading, but hopefully it'll be like died down now. Wacky YouTuber who made the video "Why the Freedom vs Impulse Battle is Bullshit." No, I definitely have not heard of that. Then no. Shin, if you like send me a link or something, I'll check it out. I'll check out the video later, obviously, but send me a link like via YouTube, Instagram DM, or like Facebook message or something. Thirsty. Irfan asking, where's my prize? Okay, yeah, the prize for all of you guys who guessed that this was going to be the kit that we were going to build, your prize is right here, a friendly handshake. Not too many people get those on a daily basis, so that is kind of rare and special. All right, let's get to building here. So this does use the master grade GAT-X frame, some of it, and of course it uses, well, I was gonna say it uses some of the Astray parts, but I don't think, like thinking back to the runners, actually I don't think this uses any of the parts, any other master grade Astray. I think, like, aside from the frame, parts of the frame being from the seed frame, otherwise I think it's all original, or a lot of it is original. I'd have to go back and double check the runners again, but if memory serves, and I mean just looking at the design, oh no, some of it's reused from the Testament Gundam, right? But that in itself was also a P-Bandai exclusive. There's another variant found in Texas. Oh, so I'm where I'm asked today. Oh yeah, you're talking about COVID. So I was looking at that thinking like a variant of this kit found in Texas. Right. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird to think that, you know, because you sort of get the sense that COVID, like, oh, that was a thing that happened like last year or a couple years ago, but no, it's like still around. So be careful, everyone. I mean, like, yeah, it's not like the worst thing in the world, and you know, more than likely you're not gonna die, but it's not fun. So please be careful. Still here to stay. Yeah, it does. I guess, like, as far as I know, and it does certainly seem that way. It's just going to be something that's just going to be around, I think. But hopefully it'll get to the point where, you know, it's not causing too much disruption. Okay, where is this neck piece? Is it hiding somewhere? Man, that sure would be unfortunate to lose that piece. Did I, like, I'm getting really worried because this happened to me recently with the gunhead kit. Building that gunhead kit, I accidentally forgot to cut one of the pieces off the runner, and I'm gonna have to scratch build a replacement piece for it. And like, since that happened, now, like, anytime, like, as soon as I can't find a piece, I'm just immediately thinking like, oh my god, I didn't cut off the runner. Hopefully that's not the case for this, because like the neck piece is pretty consequential. Hopefully I can find it. The other good thing is that there's a lot of leftover parts, so I probably just like accidentally chucked it into the box here with all the leftover bits. Yeah, here it is. That was close. Hopefully it's the right one anyway. I would assume so. The E runner is, I think, what's it from? Let's check. Could be one of those where like this is the old part and there's a new part that they made which is slightly different. It looks almost the same. So like I'm gonna try to use this and it's not gonna work, but I think it's right anyway. Too late now that the part has gone into the abyss. Well, the thing is that, yeah, if I had left it on the runner and forgot to cut it off, those runners are long since recycled now. So yeah, it's not in the abyss. It's just wherever Volusia County takes its recycling. So I don't know. Fortunately, though, I think I got it. So this piece looks the same. Assuming that it is, then we'll be all right. I don't know why I'm like really struggling here, like pressing some of these parts. I don't think that it's like a fit issue. I think I'm just like hyped up or something. I don't know. Maybe it's from this T. Yeah. But anyway, how are you guys all doing? I sent the Wacky Modder video. Okay. All right. I'll check it out later, Shin. Thank you. USA Gundam has number... Okay, sorry, I'm just struggling to read that there, Scott. Number 57 Armor Puppet Asus model kit for $24.99. How does it compare to a Gundam of that same price? Bigger plastic. I'm not sure. I've not actually built one of those, and I'm not familiar with that particular one, so I couldn't even really say. The Roast Duck Pog, hello over there on Twitch. To the Roast Duck and anybody else who might be watching over there on Twitch, how's it going? If any of you guys are watching on YouTube and you prefer watching on Twitch and you didn't know that I stream on Twitch, then just heads up that you can go watch on Twitch if you prefer. No pilot figure for this cockpit because of it being a P-Bandai kit, I guess. Some P-Bandai kits do still have the pilot figure. This one is not included. So if that's something that you care about, just a heads up on that. Interestingly, where is that piece? B is dark gray. Am I missing something? Was that like supposed to be a tab on there that I cut off or something? What is that? This part here, no, that's not what that is. Oh, okay, it's this part. All right. The way that it looks in the manual, it just looks. They show this part here, which is like this like C shape, which fits around the middle part. I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can kind of see what I'm doing a bit closer here. It fits like over the midsection here like this, but in the manual it only shows it from the side. So like I'm only seeing it like this, just like the side of it like that, and I'm looking around like, where's that part? Yeah. All right, so anyway, it's over this, over the back, like over the midsection here, and then it should fit up into place there like that. Okay. And what's next? Let's see, just joining, and I called it a straight out frame. Yeah, a lot of people, if you guys saw, the one that won the poll, what most people guessed was that it was going to be the Metal Gear Rex, the black version of the Metal Gear Rex, is what the majority of people guessed. And yeah, that was just definitely not correct. I wasn't planning at all on live building that, but I guess since so many people voted on it, maybe I will live build that kit just because, I don't know. I think a lot of people, when they voted, probably didn't like read the post, or didn't read it fully, or didn't read it correctly, and thought it was like a poll, like to vote, like which one do you want to see live built next. And so I think a lot of people were just voting on like which one they hoped that I would live build, or that they wanted to see, or that they were interested in seeing. So assuming that I'm correct and thinking that's probably what a lot of people were thinking when they voted, then it seems like there's a good amount of people who are interested in seeing a live build of that kit. So I guess I will do that. I wasn't expecting there to be that much interest in it. Or if I'm wrong and people just are assuming that that's what I was going to live build, then I don't know. Still, I guess that shows that there's some interest in seeing it live build. So we'll do that later on. That's a little bit further down the line, down the queue to get to. Got a lot of stuff going on I need to work on. Polycap, right. Let's see. Got the Freedom 2.0 for my birthday. Really love the kit. That is a great kit. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Please build a Metal Gear Live. I want to see that built up. Surely, yeah, surely. No one has the built kit. They can't answer. It's good. Oh, Microman. Oh, sorry. I'm not following what you guys are talking about there. Let's see. Kind of interesting that the cockpit hatch is one of the last things to be put on here. It's usually kind of a little bit more kind of integral to the torso design that you put it on a little bit kind of earlier on, but it's kind of last. And it's kind of funny how it just kind of looks like a little mouth on here now. It's kind of hard to open up, but let's put this part on here. I think it's also just because it's red, it kind of looks like a tongue or a mouth, sort of. You guys can see that? But yeah. I think it's also just because it's reminding me a bit of like Wonder Chosen, because I was just talking about Wonder Chosen last night with Lincoln. Had a good little brief, not too brief, but not too long. A nice kind of about hour-long conversation last night with Lincoln Wright, friend of the channel, friend of mine, friend of the community. And yeah, one of the things we're talking about, he knew of a particular like meme, which is from Wonder Chosen, but he didn't know it was from Wonder Chosen. He didn't know what Wonder Chosen is. So he mentioned something about it. I was like, oh, you know what that's from, don't you? I was like, no. Like, oh, you don't know what Wonder Chosen is? Oh no. Sorry. Yeah, so I had to give him a bunch of stupid stuff to watch now. If there's any of you guys that also don't know what Wonder Chosen is, unfortunately there's very little of it. Like when I went to go look up some clips to show him, I went to go like find some clips or skits like on YouTube, and there's not very much on there for whatever reason. Copyright, I guess, but I don't know who it would be copyrighted by. Wonder Chosen was an MTV show, wasn't it? I don't know, but yeah, there's very little of it on YouTube, which is unfortunate because, well, unfortunate for the public. I have it on DVD at home at my parents' home. That's where my DVD collection is. I'm sure they're looking forward to, now that we're moved to the US, I'm sure my parents are looking forward to the day in the future when I come collect my DVD collection from their house. So I've got a big one there. But yeah, Wonder Chosen. All right. Q-tips really help with the Witch from Mercury HD stickers. Yeah, for putting on foil stickers well on your kits, Q-tips work well. Also, blunt toothpicks. So take a toothpick and either just like stab the sharp end of it onto your table a little bit just to make it blunt, or you can just cut the end off and just kind of rub it around a little bit, just so you're not using like a really sharp end of it. But that is also a good tool for working stickers into position, and also like pressing the sticker in and around the different details. That's what I always use. Not at the moment though, just because this is just a camera sticker and eye stickers. Although I do kind of wish I had one now that I'm talking about it. But another thing I'll mention here on like the USA Gundam Store brand knife, it has this bit here at the end, which is like sort of, it's a blunt, sharp. It's like pointed, but it's a blunt point here at the end, which at first, when I first saw one of these, I was asking Adam, I was like, why did you have that design? And I think it was not for any particular reason, but I have found many handy uses for it. It also works for stickers. quite well. This is kind of interesting. The eyes for this kit, rather than being raised, are actually lowered. That's different. Usually the eyes on the clear part are a raised detail, you know. In this case, they're actually lower, which is strange. Okay, so that goes in here. And then this face part here. So some nice color separation on that. Honestly, the toothpick one scares me too much. I mean, that's why you got to make sure it's a little bit blunt. I mean, I have definitely damaged stickers by using a toothpick if it's too sharp. Yeah, I mean, so you do have to be a little bit careful. But if it's blunt and you're not like really super aggressive with it, it works well. It works perfectly fine. And I think I've had a lot of success with them. But yeah, I have also had incidents, but nothing too bad. And you just be careful with it. It's nice part separation here on the head with that gray piece inside there, fading through the sides to fill the vents on the side of the face. Very cool. This part here. So that's kind of interesting too, how the V-fin is two separate pieces that like press together there at the center. And then we put the cap on the dome. Is there no sticker? Oh, I was gonna say, is there no sticker for the camera on the back of the head? But there is no camera on the back of the head. So, all right. Cap the dome. Put the big like Barbatos-looking V-fin there on the front, and the extra red V-fin. Press that on there carefully because that red V-fin is so thin and small. And good to go. It's got quite the cowl. I think it's cowl is the right word. There at the back of the head. This part here kind of reminds me of like the Shenlong almost. The Shenlong has quite a long one. It's not quite as extreme. And a lot of other Gundams have that. It's not only the Shenlong. The neck seems really long though too. I'm wondering if I have that pressed down all the way. I do. Why does it seem so long? That's weird. Let me look at the pictures of it. I wonder if that neck piece that I used is wrong. Hang on. Let's see. I want to check in the manual. Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm using the wrong neck piece. Let's see. Is there another neck piece which was cut off from a different runner, which I'm now using by mistake? Yes, indeed. So that is the wrong neck piece. Damn. Oh no. I wonder if I have the right one or not. Hopefully it's in here. I don't think that it is though. So that's interesting. I wonder if I didn't cut it off the runner. Yep, it's not in here. Well, I may get lucky, and maybe I just maybe the piece fell into another part of the compartment there, and hopefully we'll find it. But if not, I will have to scratch build a new one, it looks like, because that's the wrong neck piece. Yeah, so the neck piece that I have here in my spare parts, I'm guessing is, let me show you guys. This one here, you can see this is from H runner, which looks to be from the Testament Gundam, because it's got those leg frame parts. So I think this is the frame runner from the Testament Gundam. There's all these X's, so these are all parts that I have cut off just in the box there, including that one, which is what I used because it's what I could find. But what we're supposed to use, according to the manual, for the neck is this one here. Here, from the E runner, which fortunately it looks like that is the GAT runner, which means that it's very possible that I have a spare one of those somewhere from a different seed kit left over. Maybe, not likely, because that's not the kind of part that typically would not be used. But probably in all likelihood, what I'll have to do is just scratch build a new one, which is fun. Okay, or just modify that one. Don't necessarily have to scratch build an entire new one, but just modify that one. Basically, just cut it shorter. So you'll have a spare one from the Testament Gundam. I don't have Troy. Unfortunately, I don't have the Testament Gundam. So if anybody does have the Testament Gundam, especially if you live somewhere nearby, like that would be awesome. If you have a spare one from the Testament Gundam, I would hate for someone who like lives in California to like mail a tiny little part to me like across the country. But we'll see. It could still be in the box and it's just in the wrong spot. Let's just continue with the build and we'll see. We'll see if we can find it. The arms are next. Even though typically I would like to build the waist section next. I'm just going to follow the manual here and we'll go to the arms, which should also be pretty short here. They're not too complicated. A lot of these parts here, I mean, you're looking at this and seeing like a lot of parts. A lot of it's just the finger option parts, basically. Parts for the hand, essentially. Okie doke. Yeah, that's unfortunate. I gotta be more careful cutting parts off. Sometimes I'm just like blazing through everything and just, yeah, mistakes can happen. Hopefully we'll find it in here somewhere. Can the Eclipse and Strike RM switch backpacks? Yeah, I believe so. I believe, if I remember correctly, the Eclipse Gundam came with like adapter parts for different backpacks, just as this one does as well. Here, this one has alternate parts for the back, for being able to plug different backpacks onto it. Alright. And I think the Eclipse also did. The Strike RM... if you want to put the Eclipse backpack onto the Strike, I think that one might be more of a challenge, if I had to guess, not being very familiar with the kits. PC-10. And, alright. Reiji guessed correctly. Nice. Chris, what's up? What's up, Chris? Just dropping in to say, glad you're feeling better. Thank you, man. Yeah, I am feeling much better now. Thank you. I'm, so long as that I'm invited once more, I'll hopefully be joining Brian and you, if you're going to be there, for the not built sideways, Kodokai tomorrow evening, if Brian will have me again. Tomorrow night I'll probably just kind of be hanging out, so if you're gonna be there, I'll see you there. Okay. And maybe for another episode of Built Sideways again, too, in the future as well. Batman Day is the 21st. Are you building a Batman Gundam for that day? Yeah, there is that Batman Bandai kit. Did any of you guys build that? I did not, and I don't really plan to. I'm not a huge Batman guy. But I don't know. Did any of you guys build it? How was it? Seems like it was a bit of a flop. I don't know how many people really went for it. Haven't seen, after it's released, I haven't really seen a whole lot about it. So it certainly seems like that, at least in Japan, not that many people went for it. Kind of weird, and the way the hand cover fits on that is a kind of weird gap. Alright. Put those there to the side. The shoulder armor, I know, without even checking the instructions, I think I can figure this out. It's only like 4 pieces, 5 pieces. Easy enough. All right. I really like the design of the outframe just because, like, for how simple and sleek it is. Man, that that neck joint being too long is annoying. It looks so stupid. Oh, the camera froze? Okay, sorry guys. As those of you who are regulars to my live builds, yeah, it is frozen. Hang on. You know that it does tend to happen, unfortunately. So give me a second. It's actually my like converter box there. So I'm going to switch cameras here for a moment. Going to just unplug that right there. And we'll just give that a second to, while I'm just putting this other arm together. You already saw the first arm, so I'm just gonna put this other arm together real quick, and then we'll get the other camera back going again. Anyway, back to the chat. No, it was definitely frozen, yeah. Greetings from Ontario, Canada. Hey, what's going on? Scale model Eric. Does anybody have a loose chest piece on their aerial? Is it just me? Hopefully, if I'm better by tomorrow, I'm still sick. Oh, Chris, you're sick too? What's going on? I think there's something going on, and we need to look into it. That is just too strange. But I hope that you're feeling better too, as well, Chris. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling much better now. Although I think, let's see, today, probably today. If not today, then definitely tomorrow. I think I need to mow the lawn. Not looking forward to that, but you know, otherwise I'm doing okay. Yeah, after a rough week last week and start to the week this week. Just because last week, with my kids being sick, it was very like just kind of disruptive to me. Like, but after that, and then Saturday was great. Saturday we had a great day. Went with friends to the beach. Had a good time at the beach. Hung out with those said friends. Then it's like friends, neighbor friends, and other neighbor friends all hung out like in the evening. Had a good time. The kids all played. Everyone drank and laughed, and it was a good old time. And then I woke up the next day, and I thought at first I was just feeling like a little bit hungover, but I was like, no, I'm just like actually sick. So yeah, Sunday was no fun. Monday was a little better, but still kind of bleh. But yeah, today's good. Today's Wednesday. Yesterday was good too. Pretty good. What happened yesterday? Oh, yeah, yesterday I had a disruption as well, and I had to leave work here suddenly, kind of like right after lunchtime, because I got like a call from my kids' school that apparently like a water pipe busted at the school, and so they wanted all the kids' parents, anybody who could, to come pick up their kids early because they had a busted water pipe at the school and they couldn't use any of the water. Which means they couldn't use bathrooms, which was the issue. So yeah, that was fun. I had to go pick up the kids and then pick up the neighbor's daughter as well. So that's fine. The kids could play together. Man, it's never easy. But hey, could always be much, much worse. So that's the thing to keep in mind. Here you go. There you go. Now he's got 2 arms and no legs. So let's build the waist. So then we can build the legs and connect them. All right, just a bad cold. Wife gave it to me, trying our best not to give it to our kid. Chris, that is so rude. You just blame your wife giving it to you. Well, you got a lot to learn about being married, my man. Can't just go blaming your wife for getting you sick. A father's job is never easy yet. I mean, it's it's just one way, another, like, kind of, I don't know if it would be silver lining, maybe. Anyway, you guys can help me think of what the proper color would be, but some sort of lining to the situation of my wife being away is that, like, it's another opportunity to, like, gain some perspective. So, like, living abroad for a long time was a great way for me to just kind of get, like, some international perspective, right? Just kind of about the world at large, living outside the US, kind of the world outside the United States, which a lot of people unfortunately aren't able to experience. I wish more people would be able to have that experience, because I think a lot of Americans in particular, but anyone anywhere in the world would benefit from that experience. Anyway, certainly opens your eyes a lot to kind of a different perspective. And now, the point that I'm trying to get to, with my wife being away for the time being, certainly gives a lot of perspective into the life of a single parent as well, which is not easy. And it's not like I was like living thinking that, oh man, the life of a single parent must be easy. I was like not under that impression by any means, but it is an experience that is not fun, but it can be. I can learn something, right? Or at least I can, like, get that perspective. All right. The front and the back skirts are so similar, it's kind of confusing. I'm just trying to get the parts moved around so I can make sure I'm putting the right things together. I have this kit. What do you think of the build so far? One Mav, I think the build so far is good. I mean, if you've built any of, like, the modern Seed MG kits, you should have a pretty good idea what to expect. This one, honestly, it reminds me a lot of building, like, just the Master Grade Strike. Even though, I've not built the Strike RM. I feel like I've built some other kind of variant of that or something anyway. But yeah, it's a, like, modern Master Grade. It's a modern, like, Seed Master Grade. So yeah, I mean, it's good. Kind of any experience. Ooh, that's interesting. So the connection parts for the front and back skirts are different. The numbers are different. Hopefully the parts are the same, because the parts look the same. It's another instance where I may be shooting myself in the foot here a bit by cutting out all the parts ahead of time. Then I don't know which one's which, because the parts look so identical, but hopefully they are basically identical. I think so. For connecting the front and back skirts. If they were not the same, then, like, the ball joint wouldn't fit here, or like the connection, like the C-clip wouldn't fit or something wouldn't fit. But considering that everything's fitting and everything looks fine, I'm just gonna assume that everything's working as it's supposed to. But as we saw with that neck joint, I mean, by using the wrong piece there for the neck joint, I was able to tell that it was the wrong piece later on just because, I mean, it just didn't look right. I could see that the neck shouldn't look that long. So we'll see. I think that those parts are fine. Man, I'm not a fan of beam saber handles being stored on the side skirt on mobile suits. Like stylistically, and it looks cool, and also like realistically it kind of makes sense, I suppose, as a place for those to be stored, you know, like easy to grab. But as far as just like reviewing the kit, it just means that while I'm trying to pose the kit and everything, like handling the kit for the review, showing you guys the articulation and whatever, and then just doing different poses, I'm going to be knocking them off all the time and having to put them back on like 50 times during the review. So that's the reason why I don't like beam saber handles on the side skirts. They always fall off. But one really notable exception to that is the MG SD Freedom Gundam, because that one, and I pointed this out in the review, I really liked it. Had an actual like locking mechanism to lock the beam saber handle onto the side skirt, so that made it much more difficult to accidentally knock off, which was nice. Frolair, I should track down a Testament Gundam. Yeah, I have not built the Bandai version, but I mean, it looks really nice. I'm talking about being a... Oh, sorry, what was it? Sorry. I was wondering, what color scheme would you pick for your Zaku if you were an ace at Xeon? I don't know. Yeah, I've been asked that question before, and I don't know. I should think about it, I guess. There's a lot of really cool Zaku color schemes. What's going on, Chris? Been there and still going at it. Oh, Scalemotter, I guess, about being a single parent. Yeah, it's tough. Best wishes with your wife and your family. Thank you, Ruben. I liked the backpack a lot on this one. Yeah, it is a really cool backpack design. Basically, just being like a folded up set of sub arms, and that's basically it. Okay, what is this on Twitch? Inverted over. I want to offer promotion of your channel, viewers, followers, views, chat, bots. Price is lower than any competitor. Okay, yeah, go to doghype.com. Yeah, that's not happening. Sorry, there's a spam bot there apparently over on Twitch. Gold Zaku? No, it would not be gold, I don't think. That's a little too gaudy for my taste, but I'm not sure. I have to think about it. The Testament includes the H28, the one you used for attaching the IWSP. Testament with the Divine Striker uses the part from the gap frame. Interesting. The HG Burning Gundam can be a pain to pose with those beam saber handles. Yeah. Hey, have you managed to build the Full Mechanics aerial yet? I'd like to hear your thoughts about it since you haven't released a review. I have the Roast Duck over there on Twitch asking about the Full Mechanics aerial. I have not built that kit, and I still don't plan to. I talked about this in a live stream previously that I was planning to skip it, and then I was kind of thinking to build one because I do have a cool idea for that kit. A cool like custom build idea that I would like to do. It's just that I have so many other different build projects either like currently ongoing at some point of work in progress or like planned to be started. So like I just kind of feel bad about starting on another project that's just going to be like going straight into the queue of 15 other projects, you know what I mean? So I don't know. I could, but considering that a number of people have asked me about like my thoughts on the kit, I guess it would be probably a good idea to at least just build it and review it, and then like, you know, then that information is out there in the world, and then, you know, if and when I do ever get around to the custom build, it is obviously something that I would share with you guys for content, but it's kind of interesting. Some people will ask me questions about something sometimes, like any particular like work in progress that I showed, like a video of work in progress here on the channel, but like I've not then shown like the final results, and I'll get like a message from someone like, hey, did you ever finish this so-and-so project? I didn't see a video of it on your channel. Like, yeah, if you didn't see a video of it finished on my channel, then I didn't finish it, because like obviously if I finished it, I would share it. That's kind of like what I do, right? It's not like I would just finish a project and then just keep it private. So yeah, there's certainly projects aplenty that I've either started and not finished, or talked about and not started, or somewhere in between there. It's quite a few, but you know, try not to worry about that too much. It just gets me down. But the feet are really interesting on this guy. He's got like these like really small and like kind of high-heeled feet, which I'm all for, but then they're like very wide and kind of like weirdly shaped. How do you choose a color scheme for a custom? Well, that's a good idea. A good question. And there's not really any one particular answer, unfortunately, because it kind of depends on the project. Sometimes like I'll have a project in mind where like the color scheme is like something I know that I want to do. Like I have an idea for a project before I've even built the kit, kind of thing, and that includes like the color scheme. So I'll just have the idea, like for example, this is just for a random example, like I really want to do like a unicorn Gundam in blue. I think that would be really cool. So like the color is like a part of the idea that I have like from the start. Other times it'll be where like I have an idea. I was like, I want to build a unicorn with the Jesta cannon backpack or something like that, where I have an idea for the build and then the color scheme kind of comes later. So kind of it could go kind of either way in those options. Normally, if it's an idea for a build and then the color schemes is something that I have to figure out later, it just kind of depends on like how the build's looking. You know, if it's like a kind of more sort of like realistic kind of looking build, or like more kind of utilitarian or kind of like real world mecha sort of looking kind of thing, you know, I would opt for more kind of like earthy kind of color or something like that, something a bit more realistic, you know, where compared to something like a flashy, gaudy Gundam kind of design that calls for more bright kind of colors. But you don't always have to be limited to stuff like that. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I love, for example, the Full Armor Gundam, because it has that more kind of just like that dark green, you know, ground type of color scheme to it, with the flashy, gaudy Gundam design. It mixes it up a little bit, sort of, right? Gets rid of like the toyish blue, yellow, red tricolor scheme. Alrighty. Let's see. Like building from a color scheme. I love that idea. Yeah. Speaking of customizing unicorn, I want to make a custom unicorn with Wing Zero EW wings. I'm sure that it has been done. No, I'm not like to dissuade you from doing it. Yeah, if you want to do it, go for it. My guess would be you can probably find one that has been done before. It's because, especially with like those Wing Zero angel wings, you can find a lot of builds. Pretty much like any Gundam or mobile suit design, you can find a custom build where somebody put the Wing Zero backpack on it. I'm really messing up this polycap trying to get it in here because I was doing it wrong, but there we go. And then there we go. That's kind of weird. And okay. That one there. It's kind of weird how little detail there is on this part of the leg frame. Man, this polycap is just driving me nuts. Didn't want to go in the one side, and then didn't want to go on the other side too. Here on the lower leg frame, you just have this like big wide open area where there's not that much detail on it. It's kind of weird to see for like a inner frame piece. Alright, you got this part here for the top of the thigh, these parts here on the side of the lower leg. I do love the design of the legs on this one. Kind of any version of the Astray. Or like, I don't know, I guess I should say a lot of the different Astray designs. I really do like the leg designs, especially on them. And this one, certainly no exception. Really cool design for the leg armor in particular. And let's see, how about these parts? These go on here. Oh, there we go. And this part here on the back. Here we go. The knee. Make sure that's there on the way. Shin piece to cover up the seam line on the front, like that. Some front ankle armor here. And then we can kind of put it all together. All right. See, Zach, you want to laugh. The beam weapon are supposed to be beam signs, not sabers. Oh, beam signs. Oh, yeah. Okay, I got it. So, kind of like, what would it be? Sort of like a air traffic controller kind of sort of thing. What's on the signs? Is there like a images in the manga or something like that that I can find of it? So I'd be interested to just see like what they look like. And I wonder if it says that in the manual in here. If it calls them beam signs instead of beam sabers. Let's see. There we go. That leg popped in there nice and secure. Very nice. Man, that neck. Let's see. It does come with a stand too, which is nice. Yeah, it does say beam signs. Huh, that's funny. Right here. There you go. That's funny. If you know of a like image from the manga or something like that, send it my way. Because I'm just kind of curious to see that. Works like those billboard signs that show messages. I mean, I guess I just read this on the internet. Yeah. The Gundam Wiki has an image of them being used. Oh, okay. I'll check it out. Let's see. Images. Oh my, it's got this big, what is that equipment that it has? With the G Flight equipment. That's pretty wild. Never seen that before ever. Huh. That's interesting. There's with the Destiny, or like with the Destiny R backpack on it as well. That's pretty wild. This different backpack equipment that it's got. Let's see. I'm not seeing the okay, let me see here. I'm not seeing any images of the beam signs though here on the wiki page. Am I missing something? I don't see it on here. Somebody went on there real quick and deleted the image before I could go check. Very bottom of the wiki. Killing me. Let me see. I didn't see it on there. Very bottom. Okay. Let me see. What is the Regenerate Gundam? I've never seen that before either. Okay, I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm looking. I don't see anything on here. I see references, appearances, gallery, which is where it should be. Images, and below that is fan feed and nothing. Come on, Troy. How could you do this to me? You are doing this so much faster than I did. What, building the kit, Taylor? Apparently, I just got a comment, or I should say a series of comments from someone the other day on YouTube telling me that the way that I build is not efficient at all. This is not the comment that I shared in like my hate comments video a couple weeks ago, where the guy was telling me that like using these organizer boxes is a terrible way to do it. This is a new comment from somebody letting me know that that the way that I build is like terribly inefficient apparently, and so I don't know. I'm just gonna rethink my life because of that comment. I've been doing it all wrong. Really hoping that that missing piece is in here somewhere. I just don't think that it is. And I think I really probably did just throw it away on the runner. Man, that is a shame. What was it again? Yeah, E10. Where was it? It's like right there in the corner of the runner. How it's like it's a hard one to miss. Yeah. I really feel like I must have just like dropped it on the floor or something. Like I cut it out and then dropped it on the floor. Either that or it's like, if it's dropped on the floor, then it's long been since like vacuumed up and thrown away at my house. But man, I was really hoping. Really hoping it would just be hiding here somewhere, but I don't think that it is. Rats. We'll see. What an ass. Oh, I mean, you talking about the comment from somebody? I don't care. People comment some silly stuff all the time, and it's nothing more than that. It's just silly. I don't get too upset about it. It's fine. It's not a big deal. I think that the way that I build is pretty efficient. It works well for me. That's That's the important thing. So anyway, let's get this other leg built, and then we'll just have the backpack and weapons in quotation marks. It's not really so much weapons in the traditional sense, but what it's got, we're gonna build here as soon as we get this other leg built. Why is this part not wanting to rotate correctly? What am I doing wrong? Yeah, that's definitely not right. What's the problem here? What's the problem? There we go. All right. How many ways could one build? Let me tell you. I clipped it, maybe to be featured in a future episode, but I can tell you guys what the comment said. Where was that? Didn't I? Did I delete it? No, here it is. This was on my video about how I build. So it was like the title of the video is How I Build Gunpla, and like the theme was just kind of showing my process step by step, because I find it to be pretty efficient. But he said, this is not efficient at all. On an MG, you have 40 runners. Then you have to spend 30 minutes trying to put them in alphabetical order. So I guess that was his first comment of three comments that he left. So I guess he was under the impression that it takes 30 minutes to alphabetize 40 runners. First of all, most MGs don't have that many runners. And even if it was 40 runners, to put them in alphabetical order, I don't think would take 30 minutes. So that's kind of okay. And then he went on to say in another comment, get some God hands. You can cut them straight out with no X-Acto. I see a lot of pros, he used in quotation marks, pros, using the cheap ones. The expensive ones are worth it. It's clean. So like saying that I should use God hand nippers because then I can save time by just cutting out the parts and then not having to do any cleanup on the nubs. So, I mean, as you guys know as well as I do, yeah, I mean, you can do that. Certainly it's going to save you time, but it's not going to give you the best results. I mean, if you're really looking to get like some nice results, it's not the best way to go, in my opinion. But you know, who am I? And then he went on to comment a third time and said simply, "This is quite possibly the slowest way I have ever seen." Which, all right, man, I don't know. After years, this is the way that I've found to be the most efficient for me. And from what I generally hear from people is that they find the way that I build to be, I don't know, relatively quick. But yep, I don't know. Just goes to show that even with years and years of experience, you don't necessarily know it all. And you can still be taken to school by, what was it? By the Beat Oven Rider 1246. Yep. So, yeah. I don't know. Although, I thought it was kind of funny that he was giving me advice about how to be, or advice and or criticism about the efficiency of my building process, when I found his video commenting to be rather inefficient, leaving 3 separate comments. Not efficient at all. I mean, all the pros just leave 1 comment and they just collect all their thoughts into 1 single comment before, you know, entering it in. But I don't know. I have a lot to learn about efficiency, I'm finding out today. So that's always fun. I like getting comments like that because they're entertaining. Haters gonna hate. It's not hating. It's just, being silly. I don't think that it's meant to be hateful or anything, or even meant to be like, even not even meant to be rude. I think just lacking some awareness, I think, is probably the best way to say it. Would be my guess. Yeah, like I said, it is what it is, and it was nice because it just gave me a good little chuckle, actually. So I don't mind it at all. Just recently got into the hobby. When you suggest penalizing the kit, or if you aren't, when would you suggest penalizing the kit if you aren't painting on the runners during assembly, after assembly? Good question. On the runners can be efficient, so we're talking about efficiency. Panelining the parts before you even cut them off the runner can be sort of efficient, just because you can just kind of like paneline them as you go, or like as you're cutting them off, so like you cut off a piece, do your panelining on that piece, and then connect it onto the kit kind of as you're building. The problem with that is that you may end up going through the time and effort of panelining a section of a part that's not even going to be shown on the finished kit, or like that's going to connect with another part in a way that like the panel line is just going to be like either covered up or like not shown, or it's not going to be an area where you necessarily really wanted to have a panel line detail. So my suggestion you can just try out and see like kind of what feels comfortable, gives you like the best results for what you're looking for. But what I generally do when I'm doing that, if it's a kit that like I'm not painting and I just want to throw some panel lining on it just for a review or something, for example, is I'll have like a section, so like this leg here, which is built, and then so I'll build this section and then just do my panel lining on this leg, and then do it like kind of section by section like that. I feel like is probably what I would recommend. What I found works well for me. But yeah, can try it a couple of different ways and kind of see what kind of issues you run into. Because the learning process of, I could tell you what I think is the best way and what way works for me. And then you could just follow that, and then, you might be fine or whatever. But, trying it in different ways and figuring out what doesn't work is, also a really, really helpful thing to do, which I think, rightfully so, a lot of people are nervous about in this hobby, because, if you, if you're not, well off financially, whatever if you're not able to buy, kits a lot, or like buy multiple of a kit or something like that, if you're only buying like 1 or 2 HGs a month or something like that, or one kit every month or something, you're not buying loads of kits. Understandably, a lot of people in that kind of circumstance are more nervous about, I don't want to ruin my kit or whatever, especially if you're new to the hobby and you kind of feel a bit uncomfortable about what you're doing. You don't feel so confident. I understand that, but certainly making mistakes is very helpful in the learning process. Because anybody who's any good at all, to whatever level, to whatever degree, anybody who's been building models for any period of time will tell you that they've made mistakes and they've messed up stuff before. I certainly have. Anybody has. Making mistakes is helpful because then it teaches you, you learn what not to do, and also you learn how to fix, or what you can do to fix mistakes when you inevitably do make them on different stuff. So, don't be too afraid of trying things in different ways and seeing if it works, and if it doesn't work, then you learned something. So there you go. But as far as your question in particular, yeah, just if you want to do your panel lining just section by section, I found that that's what works best for me. All right, kit is done, the main body's done. Let's do the backpack next. Ragey asked, could have edited the first comment with the later comments instead of multiple comments. Yeah, of course. But why would you think to do that? You don't care too much for the RX-78 Fu design, but you like Converge. Would you like the Converge? And anyway, yeah, would I like a Converge figure of the RX-78 Fu Gundam design? Yeah, I'm sure I would, probably. I love Converge figures, so even for that design, because a lot of what I don't like about that version of the RX-72 is just like mostly the panel line design, for one. Like the way that the panels are designed and the coloring of them and everything, I just find to be kind of ugly. So, shrink that down to only this big and it's not going to be near as noticeable. So then it would basically, not look that too dissimilar from just kind of any other version of the RX-78 once you have it only this big and, only a few handful of colors. Yep. You could also just buy an entry grade for really cheap and experiment on it. Yeah, entry grades are great for that. Experimenting on, absolutely. Okay. All right. All of these parts, all being dark in color, is not going to make it easy. But let's go. I will say I do really like the thruster bell design here for the backpack, and I'll show you the part here in just a second as soon as I can find this part that I'm looking for. Here it is. Is that correct? Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Okay. Here. Zoom. Here, the thruster bell design. It's like much more detailed than we normally get for master grade kits. So it looks really, really nice. I like it a lot. It's very cool. All right. One Mauve said, I won't tell you how many years of mistakes I've made building. Each mistake I have learned something new for sure. Yeah, exactly. Everyone build the way they want to. Just because someone builds it one way doesn't make it the best way. Yeah, absolutely, Ruben. Yes, another good point. Sure. Who do you prefer, Shin Asuka or Kira Yamato? I'm just gonna have to say Kira, I guess, just because I find Shin to be so cringy and edgy. Sorry to say. The person who's asking this question has the handle of Shin Asuka, so I feel like he's going to be insulted if I don't say Shin, but sorry. Just giving you my honest answer there. Troy said that's because it's technically a striker pack. What? The boosters on pack fall off super easily, unfortunately. Yeah, they do kind of seem like that. I was just noticing that while we were looking at it. I was like, that connection does not look very substantial. So yeah, I think that is probably going to be an issue, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We do have some polycap ball joints over here. What is this, an SD kit? What are we going to do with these? All right, gotta get those on here. That goes on here. Another time when that topic we were just discussing about making mistakes while building, that also often tends to come up, like when I get messages from people saying like, I just built this kit, or I have this kit and I broke this part. What can I do? Like, you know, when you have a kit that that's one that you just got or one that you've had, and you end up breaking a piece or whatever, that's a really great. I mean, a lot of, I think, especially if you're a beginner, a lot of people would freak out, understandably, and be thinking like, oh my god, oh no. But in actuality, I mean, when that, it's unfortunate, but the good thing is that that gives you a good opportunity to learn how to fix a broken part on a kit. Because at some point in building model kits, you're going to break a part, or, learning how to fix a broken part helps to give you the experience that then you can use, that can be helpful experience when it comes to like modifying parts. When you want to get into doing some like customization or modification, you already know about like how to cut plastic, how to like re-glue parts of plastic together, how to like drill and saw and whatever other modifications you might need to do. You have that experience because you had to fix some broken part, and now you can apply those same skills to customization in some way. So it's always good, like when accidents happen, to look at them as a learning experience. So any idea when the PG Perfect Strike will ship out of the Gundam Store? I'm so excited. It's going to be my first PG. Vix, you ordered the PG Perfect Strike here from USA Gundam Store. Is that your question? I can help get you an answer, but I need a little bit more detail about that. You ordered it from here, and that was the only thing in your order? Because the important thing also to keep in mind that a lot of people do tend to forget, it seems like, is that if you place an order and it's like multiple items, the order won't ship until everything is in stock. So like that kit may be in stock, but if there's another item on the order that has not arrived yet, the order can't ship until everything is in stock. You can request it to ship early, but yeah, if that's what's going on with your order, then that would be the reason maybe why it hasn't shipped yet, if it hasn't shipped yet, or I don't know. Hitting my soul here. Broke my MG Zeta 2.0 last night. Oh, well, like I said, hopefully it wasn't anything too serious, and fixing your Zeta kit will be something that you can learn from. But I can certainly sympathize that it's not fun, and you don't like want to have broken stuff, right? But it unfortunately does happen. Right. This is kind of interesting, this part here. Building this section twice. It seems like these arms should be opposite, but so far we're building everything twice the same, and it's not perfectly symmetrical. Like this part here has a hole on this side and not a hole on this side, so it's kind of making me like do a double take. But as long as it says ×2, I'm gonna keep doing it ×2, I guess. Let me guess, the Zeta's arm broke, Shin said. What's your opinion of the HG Schwarzets? I love it. Apparently, our Irfan, apparently you didn't check out my video of my top 5 HG Witch from Mercury favorite HG kits. Because if you did, you would have known that I put the Schwarzette in one of my top 5 kits from the series. But yeah, it's a great kit. I love it. It's really nice. Okay. So that goes on there. That goes on there. Interesting. Okay. And then what? Well, let's see. Do you know when the Big O kits will be at USA Gundam Store? I'm not sure because that's Good Smile Company, and that stuff does tend to take longer normally. So I'm not sure. Hey, Adam. Yeah, Adam's not in his office, so could ask, but he's not there. What? But is that an efficient way to pin a line? Yeah. Since my local hobby store has so many copies of the RX-78 Revive, I customized mine a bit with some battle damage, blew part of the shield up, and used cement to glue bits back on. Yeah, that's a great kit. I love that kit. RX-72 Revive kit. That's another really good practice kit. It's a little more expensive than the entry grade, but I think it's worth paying that little bit more because it's just a nicer kit in most ways. There is some ways that the entry grade is actually nicer, like some of the part separation, for example. But missing a part that disappeared off a few kits I have, and I can't order replacement parts. Yeah, that's not fun either. YouTube must have not put it on my notifications. Yeah, I think Irfan, to your point about that video, I was actually kind of surprised that the video didn't do better. Just based on my experience, I expected that video to do better than it did. And I think probably what happened is just that I need to make a new thumbnail for it. I think the thumbnail is not like eye-catching enough. So probably make a new thumbnail for it and like share it around again. Maybe get some more people to check it out. What was kind of interesting is that at the time when I made that video about like my top favorite HG Wish for Mercury kits, when I made that video, I didn't know that Mecha Gaikotsu had just made a similar video like just days before. But interestingly, his video was like almost an hour long, and I think mine was like under 10 minutes, which is pretty amazing because like it never that was the thing for a long time, was that like the main complaint that I heard from so many people all the time was that my videos were too long, and people liked his videos and other people's videos. Like in the community, people liked other people's videos because they liked that they were shorter and more concise. So like for that video in particular, and then just like generally in my videos these days, I'm trying to be a bit more concise in them, just because of the feedback that I've heard from people over the years. It's just kind of funny that in that video, I managed to keep it like less than 10 minutes, and his was much longer, almost an hour, if I remember correctly. I didn't watch it at all. I just saw it in my feed. I was like, oh, interesting. How come this like doesn't stay in there? It's got like these like knife bits here, but it's like, I feel like that's supposed to be like kind of clicked into place. On this side it is. On this side, there it is, kind of still a little bit loose. All right, I need a couple more of these. I watched both of them, had to skip around. Mecho's Taylor said, I like your long videos, Vic said. Yeah, I know. When I say that that's a complaint that I've heard commonly from people a lot, like over the years, I do also hear from people as well that say that they don't mind, or in some cases they even like some of my longer videos. But I don't know, even for myself, I know personally I don't like the fact that some of them are just too long. I tend to be just kind of too long-winded in some of them. So it's just kind of like a personality thing. So it's okay. Just looking at that thinking, wait, how's that fit? It's something that I just like try to work on generally to be a bit more concise. So I was really happy, like when I was recording and editing that video, I was feeling like I'm really happy with kind of how like briskly I got the information that I wanted to share with you guys, like what I wanted to say in the video. You know, I got it across, you know, in like a good, like snappy pace, and I was happy with it. And then, like, yeah, I don't know. Like numbers wise, it did fine. Like, you know, it's not like I was relying on that video doing well to pay my mortgage that month kind of thing. You know, it did fine. It's not a big deal. But I was just expecting it to do a bit better than it did. And I think probably what it came down to, if I had to guess, I don't know, could be other things involved. But I think one of the main things is probably just that maybe the thumbnail wasn't very eye-catching, I guess. I don't know. It's basically a preference, as I leave on long videos while working on kits, but while sitting down watching, I tend to watch short ones. Yeah, I can definitely relate. Yeah, sometimes I want like longer videos. Like one channel that I am admittedly getting a little bit bored with these days, but I was like watching pretty regularly was, I'm not gonna remember the name, a YouTuber, let me see. So I want to be fair and give him a shout out. Not that he needs any help from me. It's a much larger channel than mine. It does the Pokemon videos. Here it is. JRose11. Yeah, I think I've talked about him before. JRose11 does these Pokemon videos where like he'll play through. Usually it's Red and Blue, like Gen 1 Pokemon games, sometimes later gens, but he'll like do a video where he's playing through like Gen 1 Pokemon with like just one single Pokemon. So like showing how he went through the game and beat the game using only Pinsir, for example, or whatever, right? And his videos are usually longer, like 40 minutes to an hour or something like that. And yeah, like just as an example, this is kind of the only reason why I bring it up is just because it's the first thing that came to mind. But yeah, I agree that I like those type of videos, and like his videos are good for, yeah, when I'm just like sitting down, just like working on a kit, and I'm going to be sitting down, you know, doing that for an hour or two or whatever. Those long type videos like that are good because they're fun to just kind of like have on the background. I don't need to watch it actively, kind of thing, right? But yeah, if I'm actually just like sitting down and actually looking at my phone the whole time, that's not the kind of video that I want to put on when I'm actually watching it, right? So yeah, I totally understand. That's interesting. Oh, this part meant to fit around here, but like doesn't fit. What am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? I appreciate that you're very thorough and good about going over kits. Thank you, Rolaire. Hello, Mercury. I really enjoy your longer videos, but understand that it's a compromise that has to be made to accommodate all videos. Yeah, some stuff I don't mind being longer. Like when I do like the MOOC reviews, for example, I mean, like those are usually longer videos because it's like going through a whole book, right? Or MOOC. Sticker. We also have these other stickers that there's these white stickers that I'm not sure where I missed putting those on. This mirror sticker here, which goes underneath there, which I'm kind of hesitant if I really want to put this on there or not, because there's some detail inside that's just going to be covered up now. But let's just go ahead with that. Put this clear part on top of there. For the camera lens. Yeah, this part that fits around the side of the camera, I don't know. Let me just take this off here for a second. Ah, okay. So maybe that's why it's not fitting on. It's like a little tab that plugs in at the bottom, which I'm guessing I didn't have plugged in all the way at first. So put that in, and then these parts should fit on there better. Okay. So there we go. There is everything. Man, the weapons, or again, like weapons, I'm using in quotation marks. This, which is a weapon, right? This is the beam rifle, yeah. The beam rifle, which is really like the size and shape of it reminds me more of just like a, kind of a little bit kind of more advanced version of like a seed version of a beam spray gun, like for the gym. It's very small. It doesn't like really strike me as like a rifle, but anyway, it does have this part there at the back, or more like the machine gun from like 8th MS team, but like a seed version of that. Anyway, and then the camera, but really cool design, and the camera here as well. Really cool designs there for those. So it's got some cool accessories here for this one. That's it. So where are these white stickers that I missed? Anybody know? There's these two, and they're pretty large. I feel like these probably went like around the torso or something. I probably missed it like very early on. Let's see. Am I gonna find it in the manual first, or one of you guys gonna tell me first? Oh, it's on the backpack, I'm sure. Now that I think about it. Yeah, right there. Okay. Ah, I found it first. No, Troy, I found it first before your comment. Nice try. But thank you, Troy. Yeah, they go on these parts here on the backpack. Is the HG Johnny Ridden Gelgoog worth it? Well, considering that there's an MG of that, I would opt to go for the MG because it's based on the MG 2.0, which is such a good kit. It's going to be much more expensive, of course, but I think, you know, you're getting such a much better kit. The HG Gelgoog is fine, but it's not great. It is a pretty old HG. So if you wanted a Johnny Ridden's Gelgoog, I would go for the MG. That would be my advice to you. I'm still on the fence about whether I want to get one for myself, just because I love the Gelgoog and I love the 2.0 Gelgoog especially. But yeah, man, these thruster bills keep popping out like crazy. I'm not a fan of the Johnny Ridden color scheme, and I'm also not that big of a fan of the custom weapons that version of the Gelgoog comes with. So like, if I'm not a fan of the color scheme or the custom weapons, there's nothing really that much else that makes that kit really worth buying for me, except maybe like the decals, but then it's just like Johnny Ridden decals. And if I'm not going to have like anything, if I don't like the Johnny Ridden color scheme and I'm not going to paint something in a Johnny Ridden color scheme, then I'm probably not going to use the Johnny Ridden decals on anything. So it's not really much reason for having those. And I already have Johnny Ridden decals, I'm sure, somewhere in my giant mass of waterside decals. I'm sure I have Johnny Ridden decals already, so I just don't really need that either. So probably going to pass on that kit, but it is always a difficult decision to choose whether to pass or not on a Gelgoog kit, especially an MG Gelgoog kit. But I'm just hoping, really, there's where those stickers went, by the way, they're on the backpack. I'm just really hoping that number one, we'll get more P-Bandai Ace Pilot Log Gelgoogs, high mobility type Gelgoogs. We got the Uma Lightning one, and then we haven't got any more after that. So hopefully we'll get some more at some point in the future. Other than that, I'm hoping for a reprint of the 1.0 Master Grade Galgoogs. I mean, as much as I love the 2.0, the design of the 1.0 has grown on me a lot in more recent years, but I've never built it. But like just seeing builds of it, it's a cool. It looks cool. I mean, a lot of times with the 1.0s, I mean, they just look a bit derpy compared to the 2.0. I mean, because obviously, you know, 2.0 modernizes the design. But I think the 1.0 Galgoog looks quite cool. So I would like to get one. If any of you guys have one, particularly the Galgoog Cannon 1.0 MG, but any version of the Master Grade Galgoog 1.0, if you guys have one and you're willing to part with it, let me know, because I would like to build one. Well, hopefully it'll get reprinted at some point. I don't know when was the last time it was reprinted. I feel like it was a long time ago, so it's probably due for a reprint at some point. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't all that long ago. Nicely done. Thank you. All right. Love striking poses with the backpack arms on this guy. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun kit to pose and play around with, because it is quite interesting. Very unique. I like how, like I was saying before, I like how just kind of sleek the design is. Kind of very minimalist, which is nice. Which is one of the reasons why I like the red frame as well, and why I don't really care for the sword on that kit. I know that's like one of the main, like notable. That's like the most notable feature. One of the most notable features about the Astray red frame is that like katana sword. But I actually just kind of prefer it without that, and then would like just with the beam rifle and shield, because I like the beam rifle design. And the shield design's cool too. I think it's like okay, but I like the Astray red frame with just the beam rifle and shield, honestly. All right, guys, so that's it for today. Like I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I will be building some more P-Bandai Gunpla probably for the next couple of live builds, probably at least one more this week. If not, definitely this week and next week. I've got the P-Bandai HG Gym Spartan. Yes, that's what it is. The Gym Spartan HG, and also the Gundam Rose HG kit. Those will be the next two that will be live built. After that, TBD. I'm not sure exactly what it'll be after that. I don't have the Forbidden Gundam yet, but once the Forbidden Gundam comes in, I will live build that. As far as Gundam stuff goes, I do have some other P-Bandai stuff. I just don't know if and when any of that stuff will be live built. And then obviously some other different Kotobukiya stuff and things like that, which you guys will probably see maybe before some of that other stuff as well. So I'll let you guys know. Thanks so much for hanging out today. Check out the video, speaking of Kotobukiya, the video that will be going up later on this evening will be of the Tamotu Pro. I'm late to reviewing that one, but it's such a fun kit. I love the Tamotu kits from Kotobukiya. They're a lot of fun, and I am late to finally getting around to building the Pro version of the Tamotu, and it's really cool. So check out that video later this evening, and I'll see you guys later. I don't think there was anything else that I wanted to mention to you, but that's it for now. So thanks for hanging out. Bye, guys.